welcome back to the next episode of Hermitcraft. It's been a hot minute. It is episode 10, which is an arbitrary number, of course, but 10 kind of signifies the equivalent of a decade on the server. And I think for episode 10, it would be really good as a sort of milestone to say goodbye to the starter base. Now, the starter base isn't quite finished. There is a smidge more to do. A smidge. I'm going to do today the finishing touches to this cave so that I can get out of here as quickly as possible. So, what does need doing? Well, this room. This room is empty. It was never meant to be empty. It was meant to be a greenhouse, a proper greenhouse, and that means having one of every single flower in the game in it, all the plants in here. I don't have all the plants, so that's number one. And then number two, I'm going to do some work to this to make it look cooler. Once those two things are done, I will feel satisfied that this starter base will be happy to leave behind. It's got plenty of functionality with a villager trading hall. It's got a very cool end rod farm. And I've decided I don't need to spend any more time here. I really don't. I don't see a benefit on super smeltering all that because it's just not going to see that kind of use. I should have let them finish their work before I went and did this. Oh, we are learning redstone. Okay, so let's get to work. And by work, I mean the spy on B-dubs. There's quite a few people online and I haven't seen a lot of them in a long time. I'm doing my best to try and remember exactly where B-dubs lives, and I'm sure it's around here somewhere. Here it is. Right, I don't want to be seen. I don't want him thinking that I'm watching him. I don't want people thinking I'm a watcher. I don't see him. Wowzers. Oh, epic trees. Whoop. 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 Ah! It's quite easy on the Hermitcraft server to end up comparing yourself to everyone else's progress. And I think because I've built in a cave and my stuff isn't sitting outside like these bases, it's easy for me to trick myself into thinking I've not done much building or much work at all. But the truth is, there's actually quite a lot of work that's gone into the cave. And then you spot bases like Tango's. And I bring this up mainly to big up his progress. Like, look, most people are at this sort of stage where they've got a really nice structure, they've got some decent progress, and this is normal and what you would expect. This is not normal and not what you would expect from a normal human being. Tango has been working so hard on Decked Out 3, and for some unknown reason, he has decided to encase the entire thing in a huge, and I mean unfathomable, amount of custom terrain. I mean, it's inspiring because I now need, and I mean need, to learn how to use Axiom properly, because I believe that's what this was made with. He's learned how to use Axiom to great effect and has made this terrain and is now hand building it in the Hermitcraft server. Because I recognize this. This is like a cracked pattern. That's one of the tools that you can use with Axiom. And I'm so old school. It is teaching an old dog new tricks. I know World Edit, I know World Painter, and that is it. I just... Axiom is really, really tough for me to learn, and I'm going to do my best because I need it. Why do I need it? Because I finally have come up with what my base is going to be. So, as we all know, my main base is going to be on this island here. And I've always known that it was going to be here, but I didn't know exactly what it was. Now I do. And I'll explain exactly my trajectory and a whole bunch of really quite personal and sappy things later, after we've put the work in to get this place done. We are going to need one of these. Copper, feather, and stick. I must have some of that lying around. We got our brush. Because if we're going to get one of every flower, probably the first... Jeez, this brush is massive. I don't remember it being that big. Oh, yeah. We're going to need a sniffer. Short story is we're going to need a sniffer. Long story is we've got to go on an adventure to find one. And that means finding what would you call, what they call, the archaeology stuff. This looks promising. Sus sand anywhere? Oh, oh, oh. That doesn't look like a sniffer egg. Alright. We're in the right place now. Sniffer egg, sniffer egg, sniffer egg. How rare is this egg? Because so far, I think I've done about 10. I think I've done every single one, and not a sausage. Not a sausage. We need to go and find another one. Guys, I've been flying around for 20 minutes. Look at the terrain in the background. Why is finding a sniffer egg so exhausting? I'm about 7,000 blocks out now, looking for another warm ocean. The worst bit is, someone like Cub probably already has sniffers, but at this point, I have sunk so much time into finding one, I'm gonna have to find one. The worst thing is, I really need 2. Actually, the worst thing is, I probably didn't bring enough rockets. Whoa, 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 whoa. What? I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be underwater. Surely this is meant to be underwater. This is an underwater thing. Look, all the drowns have just spawned. I know there's no sniffer eggs here because you literally can't get them, but it'd be silly not to stop. This is so painful, but I am going to have to go back because I will run out of rockets and I've got a better idea. You can see, look at the sporadic flying around. This doesn't look like normal Minecraft at all. This is not what we're used to seeing when we fly. It's usually just a completely blank screen. It might be worth taking this portal. The nether hub. Woo. Ow. Whoa. Okay, there's been some work done to the hub. Whoa. This looks awesome. Okay, that's my portal apparently. Grian's gremlin portal, gremlins only. How do I get up here? So this is what I came back with. Just a bunch of genuine junk from all of that suspicious sand. Okay. I think I found one. Finally. I am so fed. Look at this. I am so fed up. I can't believe a search for a sniffer egg has ended up being this bad. Right, 1 egg, please. 2 eggs, possibly. That looks like an axe. Yes! 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 Egg! Don't you come back here. Oh, yeah. We got it. I want to say that this has been a fun little adventure, but it truly, truly hasn't. This one is slightly larger, and therefore I have a better chance of getting something here. It's like a proper underwater village. It's a hollow victory. It's a victory. It's a hollow victory. It's been so long. I want to go home. Take me home. Take me home. Yeah. Look at all that. Not even sure that covers all of it. All right, we got our eggs, our sniffer eggs. We're gonna place them one. I mean, I could just do that, can't I? I really like this. I wish there was a way that we could stop them from hatching, because they are a truly unique block, but they always 100% hatch unless you edit the game files in some way or use a data pack, which we don't have. Waxing them would be cool, or I could just use an armor stand as another thing, but they are just... I don't know, they're pretty unique, and they kind of fit with the theme that I'm going for. The next thing we're going to do is a whole bunch of building. I'm going to clean up this, and we are going to work on filling this as a greenhouse, and then we're going to get the heck out of this cave. So, without further ado, let's crack on and get this started. Ready? Let's go! We are so close to leaving this cave. There's one bit of build stone that we need to do, the same kind of waterfall, the animated waterfall that I did last season. So what I've done is added, I mean, just some proper decoration. It makes the world of difference adding more moss, and look, I've added some trees. The trees gave me a hard time. Originally, I had a big tree that kind of jutted out into here, but it was so busy, it was very, very hard to look at. So, we've added a couple of trees, just need to trim the verge over here. And the Cave of Whimsy is getting even more whimsical, in my opinion. So, both of these sides are looking good, and I've even done a little bit of work here to the front. So all that's left to do, I really thought I was done, but I've added a bit more to the back here. I think, need to tidy up a little bit of this, a smidge. Look, that's a bit messy. Be ashamed to just leave that. So if I could texture this tiny little bit, tidy that up, get this waterfall in, I can get the heck out of this cave. If you didn't watch last season, then this might be new to you, but basically the idea is you've got a series of dispensers that run like this, and you make sure that the water flows over the top. So the water can be here, and it will flow just in front of these, not inside them. Then from here, we do a big old pile of observers, facing downwards. Or is this upwards? They're facing upwards, but the signal's traveling downwards. And then we want to take the signal every part of the way. And then we want to take this signal here. So the signal travels down here, and along the way it triggers every single one of these. With me so far? Okay, so test. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. Now, there's probably a million better ways to do this, but all I need to do is create a circuit that is going to send this right round. And then lastly, we take a bunch of buckets. Not the best. The most ideal placement for one of those is not near your ears. And unfortunately, I have not adhered to that rule. So all we need now is powdered snow. Fortunately, there is a bunch right here. We can go underneath and just take a bunch. It's probably enough. And of course, one water. And then we put one powdered snow in each one of these dispensers. Okay, water's there. Now, we turn it on. It's already out of sync. Okay, so now it's going. All we need to do is add the water in here. And hopefully nothing breaks and everything's hunky-dory. Down we go. There we go. And if I hopefully get just far enough away, we get the wonderful water effect. You can speed this up. Now, obviously, there's a problem that I can see the snow on the side. So, there's obviously quite an easy fix for this. One, we just cover it up. And two, I think the better thing for this side... don't know if lichen's going to interfere, but I think the better thing for this side is to just let it fall over. If I move this here. That works. We get the particle effect and add a bit more whimsy to our whimsy cave. Right, let me finish terraining this and then we can leave. I don't really hate to say this. I'm very proud to say this. I think we're done. I honestly think I've had enough of this cave. It really needed that extra 10% effort putting in the trees, changing up the terrain and texturing, adding just even these vines and things, adding that little bit more detail around the window. And now it really does feel complete. I've tidied up, got rid of all the shulker monster, and I've been thinking an awful lot about my base, and in particular, how it came to be. It's easy to think that it's, like, original and full of whimsy, but if you think about any creative project hard enough, I think you can pinpoint where your inspiration for it has come from, or what memories and emotions you are pulling from. And for me, it dawned on me that I know exactly where the inspiration for this comes from. One game in particular really captured my imagination, and that was The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. Something about this emotional yet slightly disturbing game really stuck with me even 20 plus years later. It's an RPG based in a town where the moon is going to fall in 3 days. The moon falling, does that ring any bells? The imminent looming threat is constant. Whenever you look up, you see this infamous face looking down on you. But in this slightly unsettling setup, there's one seemingly unimportant part. Once you've finished the intro sequence, met Skull Kid, and been transformed into a Deku by evil magic, this game's a little bit weird, you make your way through the town, and you need to figure out how to get yourself back to normal. You talk to these kids who, after a game of hide and seek, let you into their secret club. It's a dark and weird sewer. Once you make it to the end, you climb a ladder, and this is where the tone changes. You suddenly emerge into a colourful observatory accompanied by a mystical tune. The tone shift in this game and the escape from the town and its kind of bad energy, it's so welcome and you feel immediately at home in this magical space. And in the centre, there's this strange old man who lets you use his telescope, where you spot Skull Kid and the story ultimately progresses. It was a very fleeting, tiny moment in a game, but the strange feeling and the music that the room gave me clearly stuck with me all these years, because I think it's here, the Astral Observatory from Majora's Mask, that I am pulling some emotional tie to when I build this Hermitcraft base. It might not look the same, but I know deep down, this is kind of where it's coming from. I might not be able to feel those childlike senses of wonder anymore in my middle age, but I certainly remember those feelings, and I have a deep desire to try and create things that pass on those emotional cues for others. I guess that's my very long-winded way of saying, don't grow up so fast, but if you're in this room, for example, I don't think you need to stretch your imagination too far to see that subconsciously some things from that game have seeped in. Like, look at the animated ceiling, the purple tones, the window, even the shape of this room somehow managed to seep in. I'm basically like pulling that energy, and I want to continue that, and that's why I've decided that my base, now that we can actually escape the cave, is going to be an observatory. I want to use this island here, and I've been removing... I regret deeply putting a load of mangroves here, because it is a lot easier to put them up than it is to take them down. I want to terrain this whole island. Now, for an observatory, obviously, they're naturally put at the top of a mountain, so you get a better view. So I've, of course, got an island that's about sea level surrounding my mountains. So it's pretty important that I do some custom terrain that at least matches the surroundings. Which means I need to learn Axiom, ultimately, because I don't think I can do it without it. I'm gonna really need to sit down and try. I have already attempted to learn it so that I can do exactly what I was describing. So that is basically where we leave our cave base. That's where the exit is there. The other side of the door is there. So it goes through the tunnel, and then I guess I'll do some sort of build and a bridge maybe across here, or actually it might need to go up and around. It depends what kind of terrain I'm going to do. So I know a couple of things already off the bat. If it's going to be an observatory, it needs quite a big interior, which means it needs an even bigger exterior. So I need as much flat surface to be up there as possible, which means the terrain needs to be incredibly steep, which is why I'm sort of dirt scaffolding it like this, so I can get an idea of what I need to learn in order to make this happen. Okay, so here's 3 big dirt scaffoldings, and you can see that it's really quite steep. But this is probably where I need to be. I either need to be up here or around there. I need to either match this or be slightly higher. So I've probably gone a bit too high, to be honest with you. But you get an idea of what I'm trying to achieve. Quite a steep terrain, probably a dark rock is what I'm thinking at the moment. And then a big cylindrical structure that's going to have the telescope, and it needs to be big enough that it sort of matches all of this scale. Okay, that's a bit better. It's probably more straight than it needs to be, these 3 pillars, but it gives you an idea of what I need to achieve in order to get the island where I need it to be. It also means I'm going to need a ton of deep slate. Oh, were you wondering where my sniffers went at any point during this? I did go at the start of this episode to get some sniffer eggs, planted them, and then they were just gone. So after my time lapse, they had vanished. I don't know where they're gone. I'd logged in and they were gone. Well, one of them is up here doing his thing. That's how I got the pitcher pods for the greenhouse part of the build. So he's just chilling up here. That's no problem. The other guy is... I don't know where he's gone. He's literally just gone. And I really wanted to put these 2 knuckleheads together so that I could get baby snifflets, and I don't know where he's gone. Random andesite block. Ah. I found him. How do you breed these fellas? Right, so you clearly navigated to the there's not even grass here, it's moss. Are you just trying to escape into virtual reality? It's not actually a bad place for them to be. If I put some grass in there, that can essentially just be my sniffer farm. I think they've designed it for me. I've just got to walk this fella all the way home. How do I get you home? Right, is there a world where you safely go down the cake ladder? That would be the quickest way, but probably the most dangerous way. Are you coming down here? Are you too big to get down here? Oh! Okay. I think we're gonna play this safe. He's preventing me from leaving. Excuse me. Let me. No. No. Let me out. I'm stuck. Okay. Right, let's go walk around the normal way. Normal way. Come on. Out you come. Also, what do I have to give Scar for him to do the terrain? Look at this. Look at the terrain that Scar's done. Look at this. Absolutely insane. Amazing. Custom terrain all the way along here. I don't know why that's not loading. But what do I have to do to get my bit done? He's left this bit. Please, Scar, please. Come on. Oh, are you going to fit down here? Oh, yeah. You're telling me you can fit through here, but not the cake hole. In you come. There we go. Hey, not too bad. How did you escape? What? 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 What just happened? I exited the horse here. Where's the donkey gone? What just happened? I got off the donkey, and I obviously, like, then went up through there. Oh, and the donkey's back there. Okay, cool. No worries, no problem, that's fine. I can turn this into a genuine farm really quickly. Oh, a lot of people have asked about what this floor in the bedroom is. It's just mangrove log. It's mangrove log that has been placed alternately, like this. One that way, one that way, one that way, and it creates this sort of mottled effect, I guess. Whatever, crisscross. Anyway, let's get this going. If we can get... All we would really need here is mud. Mud and some hoppers. Why mud? Because I think items drop. If there's a hopper underneath, items will fall through mud, but they won't do that with grass. I'd have to use a hopper minecart. Okay, so if I test this, see, there's no falling through right there. But if I do that, boom, straight in the hopper, and then should end up here. So I would like to see these guys at least sniff up one thing, just in case I've misunderstood how this works. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're trying... It honestly looks like they're trying to get to the Corrales painting. But they are clearly locked in on something else that isn't... I've made this really simple for them, I'll be honest with you. I've made this really, really simple. Is it this moss block that they're obsessed with? Are you trying to get to this? What are you trying to get to? They are trying to leave, and I don't know why. There's no grass out here for them to eat. There is mud, moss, grass, and path right there. So I'm not quite sure why they are so obsessed with this. This looks so weird. Let me see if I put blocks here. Oh my goodness. If I just put blocks here. What? That is so wrong. What on earth? I made my own faces. Got the eyes there. Remove these. Yeah, I made a new creature. It's horrifying. I need to stop them pathing out of here. And so far, they are just obsessed with going out there. Wait a minute. 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 They're trying to get here. This is what they see. This is what they're obsessed with. I'm sure of it. Alright, well there's no reason for this to exist now. There's no... I've solved the problem by accident. Because I've got a chicken farm. So this part doesn't really need to exist in any sense of the word. Right. Now, they shouldn't be No, they're still interested. Right. Before I give up on this, I'm just going to say it. I need an adult. I need Etho. I've failed at probably the easiest farm in the world. Everything's set up correctly. They can dig this. They need 2.2 blocks or something like that in front of them, which they have. There's no reason why they shouldn't be doing what they need to do, and yet I've got nothing. I think they're clearly locked onto something more important. Well, they've stopped trying to escape via there, but they still haven't dug up any seeds. I'm gonna leave them to it. I think it's time to wrap this episode up. It's been lovely, truly a pleasure. Probably one of the best starter bases, if you even want to call it that I've ever done. Somehow this hasn't exploded, and I've put a lot more attention to detail than I normally would. But I am now thrilled, after episode 10, to be moving towards my mega base. And I hope by next episode, I will have a bit more of a concrete plan in place. I'm going to have to 100% get on the creative server, spend at least a day learning Axiom. I might even include a little bit of the learning process in my video. We'll see how it goes. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this a little bit more weird episode. I think there was a little bit more Majora's Mask talk than I anticipated. So, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next episode. Goodbye!